I just wanted to remind you guys that this is not financial advice. This is only for educational and entertainment purposes only. Please get a couple seconds to go ahead and read everything that's on the screen. If you need to pause, go ahead and do that now. What's up, everyone? Back here with another great video for you guys. Well, oh well, oh well. We got Ethereum pumping here. What can I say? Ethereum's doing very well. We had a nice little push up here. As you can see that we've had, consistent resistance here since 2021, right? The bull run, both, we did go above it, but short time. It was very short-lived. Came right back below it, and then we started a bear market, right? And then after that, you can see that we easily hit once, twice, three times, 3 hits to this kind of resistance area. And every single time we've come down. So you can see this is a very strong resistance area. We finally hit our, I guess, local low or whatever, max low, the bottom as some would say it for the bull run. And we just, after that, it's just been, pump, short correction, pump, short correction, pump. And I wouldn't probably be surprised if we had another short correction back to, so let me go ahead and get these tools here so you guys can see real quick. Some are visual learners. I know I am for sure. So pump, short correction. This one was a little bit deeper than normal, but then this one you had a very short correction. Just kind of resetting the RSI a little bit, and then a nice little pump here above 4,500, and we're still climbing. Like live right now on the charts as I'm making the videos, they're pumping. But I wouldn't be surprised if I see Ethereum, after whatever this is gonna pump to, go ahead and come back and retest this prior resistance. Remember, this is a very big and long resistance that has been very hard for us to get above it. So the best thing and the strongest move Ethereum can do, I know people are not going to like it because it is going to bring down altcoins, but you got to remember, for things to do well and go crazy, the best thing for Ethereum to do is to retest this prior resistance and convert it into a support. That would be actually the most bullish thing that we can do, or that could happen right now in this bull market. Is not only is it retesting prior resistance and creating it into support, but it also is going to reset the RSI just a little bit. I would say it probably comes down to this EMA on the RSI, and then we can finally take off. And whatever this bearish divergence is, we can probably finally just break out of there and just kind of keep going ham. And then as this keeps going up, this might start to look like, hey, make lower highs while we're still creating higher highs, and hopefully get to like $8,000, $10,000 Ethereum while this is creating lower highs, getting ready for the next bear market. Okay, that's what we're kind of looking for, is just a nice straight pump up with mild corrections along the way, fast, quick corrections along the way, so we can just get this Ethereum to pump. People take profits and rotate their monies into the rest of the coins and to the rest of the altcoins, basically. So that's what we're waiting for next. But remember, don't be surprised and don't be fearful if we do come back and correct here. Things don't go up forever. They just don't go up forever without having a correction or pullback, right? It is normal and healthy to have a pullback. And actually, this pullback will probably be the most healthiest and strongest pullback of all time, because as long as we stay above this resistance right here and close above it, meaning do not close back below it, as long as, even if we go below for a little bit, but on the weekly chart it closes back above it, we're fine. And that will actually be the strongest thing that Ethereum can do. So that's the next thing that we're going to be looking for. This could pump a little bit more, because remember, the stronger this goes, the more this goes up, the stronger the move is, the more of a chance there is for when it does correct, it will stay above this resistance. So that's what we want. We want it to pump as much as it can before it comes for that correction, which I think we're kind of close to it. We might pump all the way up here and then come and correct, which will take this a little bit higher, right? Not too much, but it'll take a little bit higher, come correct as this comes up, and then take off again. So I'm ready for the bull market. I'm ready for altcoin season to actually really start, because there's not that much time left. I mean, just look at it. Ethereum's up 7.23%. This is awesome. This is nothing compared to what it's going to do after, in my opinion, what I think is going to happen after the pullback, after the correction, after changing resistance into support. After that, what's going to happen is I think you're going to start seeing like 15, 20, maybe even 30% moves. Like, it should get pretty hectic. So let's get ready for that. Let's go ahead and finish and get in the rest of the video, because I got a little bit of news here for you guys, as we don't need my little drawing tools anymore. Before we keep going, let's just take a quick look at Bitcoin. I wanted to actually show you guys something. I might need my little drawing tool here, but I wanted to show you guys. A lot of people were like, oh, asking me about this, whether it's through YouTube or a couple friends and some students of mine that I have in my trading group, my crypto trading group. They're like, oh, look, we came back down with Wiki. This is bad. I'm like, this is not bad. They said the same thing here. Oh, double top. Boom. Took out. If you guys have noticed, what has been happening this whole entire bull market, okay, is you can see a bull flag, and once it breaks out of the bull flag, it retests and go. Same thing here. We got a bull flag. I mean, this is a pattern, guys. Hey, I'm giving you guys the inside scoop right here. I mean, I noticed this from the first and the second one. I already knew that Bitcoin was doing this a lot, so it's probably most likely it's going to keep doing it. And yet again, if you guys pick up on these patterns throughout the bull market, you'll be able to trade futures on these. Once you see a good pullback here, take an entry and take it for the next leg. You guys gotta, you gotta use, everything is just basic common sense in trading. You just gotta catch on quick, right? Same thing here. Look, bull flag. What we do, we closed above. This candle came, pulled back. So we got a pullback, bounce to confirm the breakout, and then boom, next leg. Same thing here. Correction, right? And now what happened? I'm gonna go ahead and zoom it in so you guys can actually see what it looks like. But we did get a breakout. So you can see the close of the candle right there. So we did break out from here. Okay, we did break out. Even if my trend channel was higher, let's just say it was something like this at that time before the breakout, it still breaks out. It doesn't matter. So even let's just say we go like this, like it doesn't matter. The breakout is confirmed, right? So they did close above breakout point. And then what happened? What's happening? The same thing over and over again, right? Right here, you kind of broke out, closed below, but then you also still the next candle opened outside of it, and when it opened outside, it did do the pullback. So you call this a pullback. Same thing, and then go. Same thing here, right? We came outside, came back, pulled back here, and then go, right? Doesn't exactly have to perfectly touch, and maybe my trend channel needs to be a little bit higher, right? So that could be it there, but there's the pullback right here. And if you look at the smaller time frame charts, you're gonna see the beautiful pullback, okay? Same thing for this exact bull flag. 1, 2, and 3, and actually there was one more below, so there's 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 bull flags. What do you think is gonna happen? History repeats itself, okay? And what's happening here? Break out of the trend, of the resistance trend line of the bearish trend channel, which is a bull flag. Break out, and what do we just do? Everybody, come on, say it with me. Bounce, retest, and bounce above turning resistance of the bull flag into support. What do you think is going to happen after this pullback? Boom, we should go up. Now, it's not guaranteed. Nothing's guaranteed on crypto or anything that you do. Nothing's guaranteed, but there's a very high likelihood and a high chance that this is going to take off. And probably we're going to look at somewhere between $128,000 $132,000 to be our next point before we do a shorter pullback correction, and then probably take it a little bit higher after that. And it'll probably just keep doing this until the end of the bull market, okay? We'll probably have another bull flag here, smaller, and then take off. So just notice these things and notice it as it goes up. If you see another bull flag, you know what to look for. You don't have to trade inside the flag if you don't want to. Especially if it's too small, it's not worth it, right? But wait for the breakout, wait for the pullback. If you have a lot of money stacked up in your futures account and you can kind of just cost average after the breakout happens, just in case it doesn't pull back, which most of the times it does and it will. But you can also do that. But hey, remember, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This is only for educational purposes, okay? All right, let's take a look at the CPI here real quick. And you guys can see everything else was as expected. You had 0.2, 0.2 was consensus, 0.3, 0.3. This was a little point higher. Not too crazy. The most important is that month over month. But the year over year regular CPI, this is not excluding food and energy. You do have a tick down, right? So whether this cancels itself out, it doesn't really matter. But the year over year, which is for me, this is for me very important to see that we're actually going lower when we're supposed to go higher here. So that was actually, good to see that everything was basically to consensus as expected. But we did have a tick lower on the CPI year over year, which was really good. And you guys can go and do your own research and check that out later on and see the actual info to the CPI. Okay, and then the last thing we're going to be going over here today is going to be the Ethereum ETF flows, which was $1 billion yesterday. Ethereum had $1 billion in ETF flows. That's insane. I don't know. That's really cool. You guys can see that we had over $1 billion in ETF flows, which is really cool. I love to see this. That just shows you guys that all the whales, all these institutions, BlackRock, and everybody is just switching over from Bitcoin. I mean, they're not stopping buying Bitcoin. They're always going to buy Bitcoin, but they're moving most of that narrative and money now over to Ethereum, which is like everybody's scared. We're not having an altcoin season, and it looks like they're playing along to what I've always expected and what people are opposite to. Remember, they do what the opposite of what people think. If people think that, hey, we're not having altcoin season, they're doing an altcoin season. And if you think about it, these big institutions, why would they want to change the way things are run when it's been working successfully for many years, 14 years, right? You had your Bitcoin, then you had Ethereum, then you had altcoins run, right? And the money just goes and just chains itself through as a chain reaction one by one, right? That's just how it's always been. And if it's always worked and made people money, especially the whales and institutions, why would ETF, BlackRock, and all that come and change the way that is done, right? That's for them. It's be like it's more time and effort and much harder to change things than to just, hey, for at least for now, keep the things going. At least for this bull market and the next bull market, we might keep it the same way. There might be some changes later on where, hey, maybe meme coins don't do anything anymore. But I think this bull run will stay the course and will repeat as the same thing as history. History repeats itself over and over again. And we are to expect that, at least in my opinion, right? You guys know you can do your own research. But we are to expect for history to repeat itself until it doesn't. Once it makes the change, instead of like last bull run, oh, well, things are different. And things weren't different. Everything happened the way it was supposed to happen, right? The same thing with this bull run. People are saying, no, things are different, things are changed. No, I'm not going to think things are changing. I'm going to keep going by history until history changes. Hey, when history changes and does something different, then I'll be like, okay, you know what? They didn't do this time, so now, let's go ahead and do some more research and see what we can change up within our trading strategy, all right? So it was great talking to you guys. Just wanted to get out a quick video for you guys today. Everybody have a great rest of your day. God bless and peace.